Okay, congratulations on purchasing your new Eheim Pro 3 filter. Let's start by opening up the filter box. Inside the filter box, you will find all the components needed to set up your filter. Comes with a length of green Eheim tubing. You get your filter book, some clips, the guarantee that comes with your filter, your actual canister filter, and all the parts needed to assemble the filter. First, we'll start by opening the canister filter and seeing what's inside. Press the red button in front of the filter to release the quick release valve on the Eheim Pro 3 filter. Once removing the canister clip, you can unclip the filter from the sides. There are 4 clips. Remove the motor head and just place it to the side for the time being. Inside the canister, you will find trays with media inside of them. The bottom tray will have these little rings, which is biological filtration. Your center tray should have some filter floss and some more Epi substrate. This Epi substrate should be changed once every 3 months if possible. Right? Start by removing the substrate and pouring it into the media basket. Check the rest of the trays to make sure that none of the other media is in plastic bags, because it will block the flow of the water. If there are any other ones, remove them from the plastic bags and place them back into the actual cartridges. Once done, take all the media to the sink, give everything a quick rinse, and then you'll be ready to put everything back into the filter. Now that we've rinsed all the media, we can start putting the media back in. Remembering that the black plastic rings were at the bottom for biological support. Remember the green arrows over here? It's very important to line them up when putting the trays back in. As you can see, they only go in one way. If you turn them around, they won't fit. Now follow the green arrows and put your media in next. On top of that, you can put your white filter wool. And then the plastic tray that goes on top of that holds all the media in place. On the last thing is the thing that seals to the motor. This thing here goes at the very top with the sponge at the top to protect the motor from any debris and any large particles. Once all the trays are in securely and snugly, take your motor back up and make sure that the bottom of the motor impeller housing matches with the canister itself. Once the head is securely in place, lock your clips, take your valve, push it back into place, only goes in one way. Once it's in, you'll hear the click at the front, and now you can turn the valve to the on position. This is going to be used for later on when cleaning your system. Turn it to the off position in order to unclip it, and that locks the water from falling through. Push it back through, back to the on position, right, and then that'll be ready to go. What was that?
You could have said it keeps it priming the lines when you switch it, right?
Okay, I'll say that next time. Okay. Next, we'll open up all the bags and we'll see what's in the bags. The ones with the little holes in them is your spray bar. This is your outtake. Lining these up and using as many as you need for the length of your aquarium. If more is needed, you can purchase them at your closest retailer. There are suction cups, O-rings, and elbows. So you can set it up whichever way you'd like. Remember to put the O-rings, this is very important, on your spray bar kit so it does not lose any pressure or does not leak anywhere. The O-rings fit over. There are ridges on each one of the pipes, and it just goes over top of one of them. Then it'll clip nicely into place, and it gives you a good seal. You can line up all the spray bars, or once setting up on your aquarium, you can put one and direct them whichever way you'd like. Now I will finish putting on the rest of the O-rings. So now when placing it in, this will be going into your aquarium. This is the elbow that goes over the aquarium. The tapered one is going to be for the valve where the hose connects in the back of the tank. This can be placed on first. Make sure it is secure with a locking nut. Next, you can put one of the elbows onto the actual hoses here. Right? This gives you, so when you hang it over the toilet, you can direct it either this way or this way in your aquarium. You could leave it at this right now and put your spray bar on, or if you even wanted more depth and to direct it a little further out, you can add this other elbow. Right now we're not going to be using this elbow, we're just going to be putting the spray bar directly on. This one here, there is an end cap, so the water doesn't flow out the end. And now it will come out the holes over here. Suction cups are to hold the spray bar into place. Once placing the clips into the suction cups and the clips onto the spray bar set, you can now place your spray bar set over the aquarium where you think you're going to want it. The output of the aquarium is now done. Now to do the intake. The intake set comes with a bunch of extensions as well. Comes with your suction cups, your rubber seal rings, and a strainer for the bottom so the fish don't get sucked into the filter. We'll start with placing the locking nut onto the back tapered part where the hose is going to be connected. And now we will also take the rubber seals out and place them on the tubes so there is no leaking. The intake is very important to make sure that the tubes are all on. This is where the water gets sucked through. If anything is missed, it will suck air and the filter will not function properly. Strainer is the very last one on the bottom. Now this is ready to be attached to your elbow. This part here is very important. On the inside of these tubes there is a little ridge which sticks out. This is to stop you from pressing it in too far. One of the most common mistakes made by people assembling these units is that they will press it in too far. As you see, once you press this in, it only goes in this much. Some people might think that they need to press it in all the way so it doesn't leak. If you do press it in any further, and the bottom of this ridge goes over the ridges of the tube, it'll cause the tube to expand and air will leak inside. This is the most common problem of filters not working properly on the Pro 3s. Please do not push them in too far and make sure that they only come straight to the ridge and you will not have any of those problems. Next, we can put the suction cups onto the intake stem. And then we can place the intake stem onto the aquarium. Placing the intake stem opposite side of the out will probably give you the best circulation in the aquarium. Now we are ready to connect the green Eheim tubing provided in your box to the intakes and the outtake stems. I find easiest by splitting the tubing in half. Now take one of the tubes to the back of the tank and connect it to the output or the in, whichever you want first. Remember to screw the locking nut over the green Eheim tubing to secure it into place, making sure there are no leaks in your home. Next, take the next tube and connect it to the other side, remembering to screw the locking nut over the tubing to prevent any leaks. Next, thread your Eheim tubing behind your aquarium, below your stand, where the canister filter will go. Now, take your canister filter, put it below the aquarium. There are two arrows on top of the canister filter. One is facing up, one is facing down. The one that's facing down is your intake, the one that's facing out is your outtake. Our intake is over here, so I will take this tube, I will line it up to wherever I think it's going to go, and we will not make sure it's too snug, and we will cut it and trim the tubing as needed, leaving an extra maybe 2 or 3 inches, just in case you need to move the filter one way or the other. Using scissors would be recommended. Attach the green Eheim tube now, once it's trimmed, to the intake. Take your next green Eheim tube and do the same as you did for that side. Attach the last tube, and this is the outtake. Of the filter. Supplied in the case, you will find the clips that will lock the tubing onto the quick disconnect valve. Very important to stop from leaks. At this point, you cannot probably do it this way, so you'll need to press the lever to the off position, pop the valve out, and now you can take the two connectors and lock them together. Once you hear them click together and they are locked, you can now press your lever back into position, turn it back to the on position, and now the filter is ready for priming. Once the aquarium is filled with water, right, now you can press the priming button that is located on the top of the filter. Press the priming filter until you hear the water filling into the canister filter. Once it starts filling and you hear the water filling, now you can stop pressing the priming button. At this point, you need to wait till the canister fills completely with water, remembering that the filter is not plugged in yet. Very important not to run the filter dry, you can damage the motor head. At this point, once the canister fills up, next you need to wait about 5 minutes with the canister filled so the media has time to soak. Also, at this point, you can get yourself a flashlight and look around the aquarium and the filter to make sure that there are no leaks in the filter. Within 5 minutes, you should be able to tell if there is a leak in the filter. If there are no leaks or any watermarks within 5 minutes, it is safe to plug in your filter. At this point now, once you've waited 5 minutes, you're ready to plug in your filter. Pause.